your family has rented the same holiday house for 3, 4, 5 years in a row, you've almost certainly had the conversation. Shouldn't we just buy this place instead? Today we do the math on that question properly. Welcome to the Lifestyle Portfolio. I'm Mohammed from Copay, and with me is my co-founder, Himanshu.
Today's episode is one I have wanted to do for a while because this is genuinely the most common property conversation I have with the clients in their 40s.
Let's set the scene. Brisbane family has rented the same Noosa house every January for 5 years. 4 bedrooms, pool, walk to the beach, 7 nights. Currently running at about 5,200 per week in peak times.
And every year, the price goes up.
Every single year. And every year the family thinks, we love this place, but we're watching the cost climb. Last time, they couldn't even get it. The owner listed it for sale mid-year.
Which is actually what happened to you personally, isn't it?
Well, not me exactly, but someone very close to us, which is partly why Copay exists. You can rent the perfect place for a decade, and then one day, it's gone. You own nothing. You have no claim.
So let's run the numbers. What does a comparable Noosa property actually cost to buy in 2026?
So quality 4-bedroom house in Noosa, in a good Noosa location, you're looking at between 1.3 and 1.6 million. A well-located unit of townhouse, maybe 800,000 to 1.1 million.
And if you wanted to buy that as a traditional investment property?
Well, you'd need a deposit, typically 20%, which is roughly 160 to 320,000, depending on the property, plus stamp duty in Queensland, which on a $1.3 million property is roughly 50,000. So entry capital of 210 to 370,000 before you've made a single repayment.
And then ongoing mortgage payments, rates, insurance, management, maintenance, if you rent it out, more hassle.
Yeah. A $1.3 million property at current rates, even with a $200,000 deposit, you're looking at a principal and interest repayments of between $6,500 and $7,000 a month. Rental income from short-term rentals might offset 40 to 50,000 a year, noting recent ATO changes that are coming in. The net cost after rental income is somewhere between 35 and 45,000 a year.
That's a significant number for a middle-income family.
It is, which is why most families in that bracket have simply said no and just keep renting. Here's what they're not calculating. If you spend $5,000 a year on holiday accommodation and that figure grows at 5% annually, as prices rise over 10 years, you're spending roughly $65,000 in today's dollars just on accommodation. You own nothing at the end.
And if you have bought even a fractional share of comparable property 10 years ago at 2016 Noosa prices, that asset has more than doubled by now.
Exactly. The comparison isn't rent versus a $1.3 million purchase. The comparison is, what are your options for getting skin in the game at a level that works for your actual financial situation?
Which is where fractional ownership enters the picture.
Yeah. So entry from 175,000 for 1/8 share of a premium coastal property, guaranteed weeks are yours every year, and your property grows with capital gains, right? And Copay handles everything operationally.
So the net annual cost after a rental offset is much closer to what they are already spending on holiday rentals.
In many cases, yes. The scenario tool at copay.au will show anyone the exact comparison for their situation.
Question from a listener this week. What happens to my Copay share if the property goes down in value?
As an honest answer, the same thing that happens to any property asset in a falling market. Your paper equity decreases. We don't hide that.
Paper equity for this. And this matters, and you have also been using the property and offsetting cost with shared cost, I would say, along the way. The holding experience is fundamentally different from a paper investment.
Exactly right. Lifestyle value is real, regardless of market conditions. And coastal Queensland has shown strong long-term resilience, not without cycles, but the fundamental demand drivers are structural. And if you've been renting the same place every year and the should we just buy it conversation is overdue, run the real numbers first and visit copay.au, which does this specifically. It compares your current holiday spend against what a Copay share would actually cost you. I'm Mohammed. He's Himanshu. Thank you for being here.